So as you see, they're ending the show with replays of tonight as Worlds Collide is about to officially be in the books for tonight's. I guess this was supposed to be the takeover. I guess Takeover Houston didn't sound as good as Worlds Collide, but anyways, Worlds Collide. Good show. Good show. I mean, it's almost 9:30 and the show's over, and the show started at 7, so 2 hours and a half. This is like the same length as a SmackDown, except the 30 minutes they missed for commercials, they add extra wrestling to it. So, very good length. Predictable show besides the cruiserweight stuff, which I'll get into first, which I'll get into shortly. But we'll start, of course, with Finn Balor defeating Ilya Dragunov, the Russian. And what was a good match? The Ilya kid's pretty good. I know he's really over in Europe and in the United Kingdom, as the show ends with Imperium standing tall, but one guy's missing. We'll get to what happened to the extra guy. Now I think it's supposed to be the Chronicle with John Morrison. So the first match was a good little match. You could hear like Ilya was supposed to be the babyface, but the crowd was like pro Balor because they're like, Russian guy we don't know. We've seen Balor before. I'm gonna root for Balor. So and it was a good match. Balor winning was predictable because he's got a match coming up in 3 weeks time at Takeover Portland. So of course he needed to win a lot more than Ilya, who's not doing anything. We don't even know when the next Takeover for the UK people are. Anyways, following that, it was the shit. I'm already forgetting. And the thing is that this show didn't have that many matches. So there was that. That was a good little match to start. Following that was not the dream match. Like the show was good. Don't get me wrong, but I'm trying to remember what the fuck was the second match. Oh, the Fatal 4-Way Cruiserweights. My bad. Which was a good match as well. It was a good match for. It wasn't that long. It was a good little sprint. Garza lost, which I was shocked. I figured Garza, who had just won the belt not even a month ago, I think he had won it, I think, before Christmas, and he ends up losing it like a month after. So it was interesting. But Jordan Devlin winning is interesting, and I like Jordan Devlin. He won me over in this match, but to me it sort of feels like him winning, like he's an NXT UK guy. Is he gonna show up on 205 Live, which is supposed to be the show for the cruiserweights? Is he? I know the NXT UK guys always usually show up on NXT. But if the NXT UK, is he going to show up on 205 Live? That's my question. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what happens with him. Congrats to Jordan Devlin, his first title in WWE, and the guy definitely to watch. Following that was the quote-unquote dream match, and the best match of the night, DIY defeats Mustache Mountain in a hell of a match. Great match. Yeah, there wasn't a big story told behind it of betrayal and rivals and all that. Even though technically the story was Mustache Mountain, the cohesive unit, takes on DIY, who have been at each other's throats for I don't know how fucking long. So to me, it was an interesting little concept, and the match was fucking good, and it was a great match. It had a little respect and everything to it, so props to that, and I really enjoyed it. So I thought that was good. Following that was the women's match. I'm just gonna mention this right now. I could do an entire other video, but I'll mention it here because here is where it's happening more. So on Backstage, which I watched, I actually went on my phone, found like an illegal stream, and watched WB Backstage. Simon would be proud of me. And I watched, and they were discussing. Becky was discussing about how she feels they need to eliminate the term "women's" from women's wrestling, but how she feels women should be held on the same sort of level as men, because she still feels that when you're the women, you're still somewhat lower. And that women's wrestlers shouldn't try to be the best of the women's division. They should be thriving to be the best of the company. And this incited very negative response from everyone who, to me, I get what she said. Is it needed? I mean, if you want to get rid of the name women's division, sure, whatever. Instead of saying, this is a match in the, when the announcer says this is a schedule They always say it's a women's division match. If you don't want to say that, just fucking say this is a match scheduled for one fall. Like, take that term out of it. Instead of saying, there's been a shakeup in the women's division, just say there's been a shakeup. You don't always have to say that. And I get it. But NXT's response to what Becky said, which a lot of people are saying that Becky, that the reason what happened, they've taken the name off the women's for the both NXT titles. NXT UK champion Kaylee Ray is now just known as NXT UK champion Kaylee Ray, and NXT women's champion Rhea Ripley is now just known as NXT champion Rhea Ripley. It makes absolutely no sense, because Adam Cole himself is an NXT champion. Now you're going to say NXT championship, people who don't know their sugar. What, are they fighting for Rhea's title or Adam's title? Are they fighting for Kaylee Ray's or Walter's? It's fucking ridiculous. And the thing is that people that are going apeshit on Becky, which I think WWE just basically mistook what Becky said, or they were like, oh, you think that's what we should do? Well, fine, we'll do it, we'll see what happens. Like, they shouldn't have done that shit, and it's stupid, and it's women's, it's, Simon says it's women's empowerment, and feminism gone stupid. It's just WWE fucking understanding what the fuck they want and fucking something up again, because they had to mess something up at least tonight. And what was a good show, they need at least one fuck up. So the NXT women's title match between Rhea Ripley and Toni Storm was good. It wasn't anything really special. I mean, it was a really good women's match. And Toni Storm's pretty good. I know they're slowly building up her to turning heel. And now I think they're slowly doing that with Toni, and even doing that in NXT UK. And Rhea's set for her matchup against Bianca Belair at NXT TakeOver Portland, which should be a fun match. And then the main event of the evening, Imperium defeats Undisputed Era. Alexander Wolf ended up going down in another part of the match. Something happened to him. He got injured or something. From what it seems like, he got caught with a Bobby Fish kick right on the jaw. And just as that happened, it knocked him out like cold, and he didn't seem to be back into it when they were doing, when they got him out of the ring, and they took him to the back, and they basically gave him a 4-on-3. But props to Undisputed Era and props to Imperium. Hell, they put on a hell of a match even with down one man. So good fucking thing for them, and great thing for them. Amazing performance from everyone. 7 great men, and Wolf, I'm sure with Wolf still added, the match would have been just as great. Fucking Walter is a fucking amazing wrestler. Like, Walter is fucking awesome. Like, he was like the MVP in this match. Him and the Bartel and Fabian, which I don't watch a lot of NXT UK, but I follow once in a while to see what's up. I read the results and I check on YouTube. Fucking Walter is amazing, and this match was really, really good. Second best match of the night, hands down. It was a really great main event, and Imperium winning. I figured it would have happened, but I figured it would have been happened, but I was still pleasantly surprised. I figured that maybe with Wolf going down, they would have maybe changed the finish, but they kept it the same. So, Worlds Collide tonight, very good show. Like I said, the show went off the air about 9:30. The show started at 7, so 2 hours and a half of wrestling. I can't complain. Tomorrow night's Royal Rumble probably won't be 2 hours and a half of wrestling, more like 4 hours. So, especially because I have to drive up to Sherbrooke and back down. So, and from what I heard, the weather tomorrow's gonna be iffy. Anyways, Worlds Collide out of 5 stars, I would give it a 4 out of 5. The Balor-Ilya match was a good little opener. The Cruiserweights were good. The women's match was sort of disappointing. And like I said, to me personally, the reason that they took out the name women's for the titles, for the NXT women's titles, for Rhea's title and Kaylee Ray's, is just fucking retarded. Anyways, thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to Raphael Duke Page Guy channel. And have yourselves a very good night. I'll see you tomorrow night for the Royal Rumble.